going to call upon our first speaker this evening. And our first speaker is Pieter, and to deliver the evaluation and the evaluation criteria for Pieter's speech. Steph, can you give us that, please?
Yes, my master. Ladies and gentlemen, Pieter will be doing his level 1 speech 2 from the engaging humour pathway. And the purpose of this speech, or for this project, is for Pieter to determine his style of humour and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. His time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you very much, Steph. Please help me welcome Pieter. Let's save Simba. Let's save Simba, Pieter.
I had a very dear McCard day, as you can gather. We were rushing in here, just fumbling, taking back his seat, and just continuing the whole messiness of the day. But on the way here, I reflected on the time about 10 years ago when I used to live in Lynette's neck of the woods. There's a lovely little cul-de-sac there with a lot of retirees who provide a better surveillance of the area than Brunant could ever do. They're the armed response company of choice these days. And one day, my neighbour Solomon asked a question in this group, very innocently. He said, I had a snake in the garden, this massive snake, and I killed it. Who else has had a problem with snakes? And like a ton of bricks, everybody came down on him and said to him, you absolute, I can't even remember what the name was, but you can think of a name. How could you kill a snake? It's an animal, have you got no conscience? And they were lambasting the guy. And I asked them, so which one of you would have caught the snake for Solomon? And the conversation went quiet. It was the end of it. So I put out a challenge on the group. My challenge was, who will do a snake handling course with me? My daughter's been nagging me to do it for years. She's 10 years old now. She wants to know how to do this stuff. Which ones of you, with all this wisdom and feedback, which of you are willing to join us in this endeavor? And it went quiet again. I said, Solomon, you come with us. I'll even pay for you. And about a week before the time, I said, Solomon, are you still good to go on Saturday? He said, listen, guy, I'm black. I don't do snakes. I don't know where you got this idea, but no, I'm not going to do this. You and your daughter can go and do this. You can come and catch the snakes on our behalf. But I'm sorry, I'm not doing snakes. So we ended up doing it. My daughter did it 2 weeks ago with my son this time. He's now the same age she was when she first did it. I didn't feel like doing it again. But the point is, some things just bring revulsion in people. If I talk about spiders and snakes and scorpions, how many of you get a warm, cuddly feeling? How many of you feel like you feel there's endorphins flow? Nobody. What's wrong with you people? They're living creatures, creatures of God. You've got no love for nature. If I talk about elephants and dolphins and kittens, how do you feel? You feel good. Who doesn't like a little puppy? Who doesn't like an elephant? Who doesn't like a dolphin? But when I talk about a lion or a snake, nobody's interested, because we fear those animals. Our natural fear, our instinct for survival, prevents us from having the same positive feeling about those animals. I've only been clubbed properly once in my life. I was about 10 years old and I was picking a fight with the wrong boys, and they tackled me and they gave me a good eye, which I deserved. And since then, I've often deserved a good club. But somehow I don't receive it. I don't know why. I've been very lucky. 2 weeks ago, I challenged somebody. He told me that he's part of this charity, this NGO that gathers money for elephants, rhinos, and people. I said to him, I get the people thing, get the rhinos, but why the hell do you want to spend more money on elephants? Have you heard of Madikwe? Right? It's a game park that's being decimated, that's being turned into desert by elephants. Why? Because they had this warm, cuddly feeling, and they said, we won't get rid of any elephants, we won't sell them on, we won't cull them, we won't do anything, we'll keep them here. And now they have 4 times the number of elephants. Can you imagine having more than 1,000 elephants in a limited game park? Imagine what happens to the other animals in that park. They die, they starve, they're already starving. Because Madikwe has capacity for X number of elephants, you have 4X. A head of cattle in the northwest, in that part of the northwest, requires 10 hectares to survive. One head of cattle. An elephant requires 4 times that. So imagine 16 head of cattle, because it's 4 times overpopulated, on one patch of grass. Visualize this. What happens to vegetation? What happens to the trees? What happens to the antelope and the lion and all of the other animals there? But people love Dumbo the elephant. People love the ads with the elephants. It evokes the right emotion. People buy the stuff. People spend the money. They give the money. Let's save the elephants. The elephants don't need saving in Southern Africa. We need to lift the fences so they can migrate freely and go and settle where they need to be. Lift the fences. Don't spend money to try and save them. We're destroying our environment. Kruger has more than 4 times the number of elephants. It's even overpopulated worse than Madikwe. As is Wangi in Zimbabwe, and Chobe in Botswana, and parts of Namibia. People are very anti, let's get rid of some of the elephants, let's open up so that they can move. They would rather contain them and save them and spend money on them. What you don't know is that lions in Southern Africa are not endangered, but they are on the vulnerable list. It's a slippery slope towards becoming endangered. Vulnerable means we're not seeing what's happening, the numbers are going down. It's going down due to poaching, it's going down due to people having superstitions and using the bones in rituals. For many of the wrong reasons, the lions are being targeted. But again, people get emotive for the wrong reasons. Canned hunting, it's a very emotive topic. You must be stupid to do that, yes, I agree. Because it's even more dangerous than hunting an animal in the wild. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't get into camp with a lion to try and hunt it. It's just a stupid thing to do. But apart from that, but I think that distracts from the real conversation. We become emotive about lions for the wrong reasons. We should be concerned for the numbers of lions in Southern Africa. We should get them back into West Africa where they're almost extinct. But we don't need to save the elephants. I want to appeal to you tonight. I'm not saying get rid of the elephants. I'm not saying we don't need the elephants. They're fantastic animals. But stop being emotive towards the wrong cause. The cause that deserves your attention, the cause that will really get us there, is not Dumbo flapping his ears. It's little Simba. Simba means lion squealing. It means strong in Ndebele and Shona and some of the other languages. Let's put our money behind the little cuddly lion rather than the cuddly elephant.
Thank you very much for that information. I knew that Kruger was overpopulated. I didn't know that it was, thought it could be singled out. It seems there's 4 other places that are also badly overpopulated with elephants.